Hi everyone, I want you to start with the starter kit and the user manual for this microscope. You may have used microscopes plenty of times before, but I have too, and this one is different, so I want to go over a few things with you in regards to it. When you look through here, what's going to be a bit different is that you may not have been used to stereoscopic microscopy before. And this microscope actually has a stereo upper lighting, so it allows you to look at 3D samples in a way that brings in more depth of field. And you may not have been exposed to that before, so we're going to talk about that a bit. We're also going to talk about the fact that you need to put in the 10 times eyepiece. You will find that in the white box that is inside the microscope packaging, and you can remove that and put that into the eyepiece. And also that you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver and 3 AA batteries that are not included. You need to get those in order for this to power this microscope. It does not go by ambient light. When I mentioned that box that's included, that box includes a number of things, and I'm going to move myself over a little bit so that I can bring this up. The box includes everything that you see here, and also the 10-piece eyepiece is in the setup. You have to remove that as well. So I want you to take a look at all of this because the brine shrimp are in one of these sample bottles, and you will need that in order to get started. The yeast is for later if you want to keep the brine shrimp. That's up to you. But you will need the eggs for now. You will also need sea salt or non-iodized salt for this lab as well. But other than that, you have what you need. When it comes to preparing this, you're going to be holding it like you would hold a normal standard microscope. You probably learned in high school. And you have the 10x eyepiece, and you have the 3 objectives below. The 3 objectives below are a 4x, a 10x, and a 40x. So you multiply that by the 10x, and you can go from 40x to 400 times on this microscope. And it does a pretty good job. So let's keep moving along with that. And in terms of that, you have some information right here on using the stereoscopic lighting for viewing 3D objects. I want you to read up on that. It does take some practice so that you can practice on a couple of things that have some elevation or some height to it. For instance, they recommend doing things like a crystal, which might be neat to see a crystal of the sea salt that you're using. You can also experiment on small things if you have it. They suggest leaves. I don't know, it's a little flat. Or flower petals might be more, or coins might be more of a way to look and practice a bit for your stereoscopic skills. I also wanted to point out to you that the mold growth observation directions are in here, and they are also in your format for the lab. I put in more detail into the format for the lab because if you follow this here, it might dry out a bit. So I think you should use a plastic bag as well. You also have in here your brine shrimp directions for setting up your brine shrimp, and those worked out really well. You also have directions in your format section, which is your 3rd section down in your learning module. They're very similar, and I'm using this set of directions, and it's going very well. You'll have some hints on how to observe the brine shrimp under the microscope that you might combine with the hints from the format for the investigation. And I hope that helps you to feel more comfortable using this microscope. It's actually quite good. And I think that you can reach out with any questions to me or reach out on Microsoft Teams to see how your study group is doing and what people are thinking about the microscope. See you on the other side.